Yes, Lord. I was just about to just say it though. I was just about to say it. I was just about to get it in. Okay, y'all didn't see this. Your girl Allie Nick giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time. We here. And it's giving you need new writers. You need new writers. I'm just saying.
Fix. Sorry about that. That's what I get for being shady, actually. That's exactly what I get for being shady. It's the Lord protecting me
But
for
it's
me
okay.
because my ass is gonna be down there at Tyler Perry Studios working. Mark my words. 2025, y'all. Mark my words. That's why y'all didn't get to hear that
That's
because I
what's
had
up.
had the wrong setting on, and the Lord was like, "Listen, I have gone before and worked out a path, so you can't be on live saying this."
That's amazing, and I want that for you. Now, your girl Ellie Nick, I ain't gonna be down there at Tyler Perry Studios. So what I said was, just in case y'all didn't hear me, which I know y'all did, is giving. This episode was giving. They need new writers. They need new writers because the stuff that I caught in this episode, y'all need to be punched in y'all throat.
Ooh,
I can't even give y'all grace no more for the stuff that y'all had these people say, but we'll get to that. But I'm gonna need y'all to have a little bit more, um what's the word I want to use? Integrity in y'all writing because y'all will find out what I'm talking about when we get to it.
drop your ratings, y'all. On a scale of 1 to 10, what you rating the episode, child? We're gonna go ahead and get into it. This is, I fear, yet again gonna be the most interesting thing of my Wednesday night. This live right here, because that episode definitely did not do it for me.
It didn't do it for me.
Woo!
It
I'm
did
waiting for
not.
y'all to drop y'all's ratings. And Allie, how you feel about the episode overall? While we wait for
It
our good
didn't. It
folks.
didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me. But Robin was the MVP this episode. I loved
I can
him.
see that. I can see that.
I
I
loved
just
him,
fear that they're not
and y'all
going to
already
be
know why he
consistent
was.
with him. Like, but we gonna get into that. I can see that though. I
Yeah,
can see that.
yeah. Like he did it for me. I enjoy, but I do subscribe to what you just said. And also, even though the girls was getting on my nerves, it was a long time since we have seen them in this type of capacity where they weren't bickering and arguing and just being menacing toward each other. And I always enjoy moments like that with them.
Yeah. I literally said the same thing. I recorded my breakdown right before we got on here, and I literally said that in it. Like, I will take it. It's not the most sisterly of sisterly moments to like better solidify what their friendship is, and it definitely did not point to the foundation of their friendship by any means. But it definitely gave homegirls. It definitely gave like y'all are comfortable with one another, which is a far cry from where we have been, where we never really got a well established sister circle before they were thrown into the drama and force us to believe that they were really actually friends when they were literally showing traits of like, actually y'all are frenemies at best, actually she's jealous of her, actually she wishes she was her, actually you don't actually like this girl. So it was very interesting to
Hmm.
have this moment where it did feel like genuinely they care for one another and they have a good rapport, because we haven't seen that, especially in the most recent seasons. I agree
Yeah.
100% with
And I
that.
agree with your sentiment of it not being consistent. I don't think they're going to have Robin be consistent. And even though I did enjoy this moment with my sisters, I already know. we only gonna get maybe one or two of those, and then we gonna have them go revert right back to how they normally have them at odds. So I'm just gonna enjoy the moment because I know it's not gonna last long.
It's just frustrating and like it has everything that it needs to be a phenomenal show. It's just the like presenting the idea of the thing and then never deciding to dive into it and like that being your choice. Like, why is that your choice? Like Andrea is having a conversation. Oh, you know what? Let's get into it. Like before I do that, let me do
Okay.
y'all's ratings. Taylor Allen gave it a 2. Naya gave it a 4. Hey, Cheryl D gave it a 4. Lynn Williams, hey, honey, thank you for being a member of the channel, gave it a 2. Jamira gave it a 1 and no possibles. A 1 and no possibles, because no. Mel Cunningham also gave it a 1. Dime Clip Entertainment gave it a 5 because I have not been captivated in the first half. Okay. Kay gave it a 3. I was tuned out. I was tuned out as well. I had nothing else to do, and y'all know I be needing something else to do to keep my little Gemini brain occupied and make me not want to trash the episode. And I ain't had nothing else to do. Sade gave it a 3 just for you, Robin. Yes. 1 and no possible. Dang, I miss Sistas. I'm glad I did. Hey, Perspective Plans, welcome in. Vaughn C gave it a 6 only because of how Robin wrote Fatima's asset tonight. I'm here for it. Brandon Ashford gave it a 3. Perspective Plans gave it a 6.5. It was better than last week. You think? You think it was better than last week? Mimi Loves Peace gave it a 4. Carrie gave it a 4. Natalie Rose gave it a 6. You really enjoyed the girls tonight. Okay. A Noel said a 4.5 for me. It's a 4.5 for me. Allie, what you rating the episode? And I'm sorry if I'm sniffling y'all because I'm apparently getting sick out of goddamn nowhere. The East Coast is not trying to group me right now.
I'm around a 4.5, 5-ish. That's where I am. What about you?
I think I would probably give it a 4.5 as well. Because nothing was strong, honestly. Nothing in the episode was actually strong. Even Robin, and I'm going to explain exactly why, even though he is one of the better parts of the episode for me, they do this thing, and Tyler has done it too, so maybe the writers are just mimicking it, where he does really great work, whether it's by way of dialogue or setup or something, and then he has the character renege on everything that he set up in like the first act or the second act of the episode, only for the third and fourth act for the person to actually renege, and then it just kind of annoys you because it's just like, where will you go from here? Did you mean what you said or did you not? And you know what? I'm just going to say it. The Robin thing is rubbing me the wrong way because while I was appreciative of him, like, Fatima, get your ass to work, she still stood there for however many hours or minutes. I'm going to assume hours because we're watching all of this other time pass while Andy's having this conversation and makes it all the way to the hospital. Meanwhile, Fatima's in the same goddamn spot. What the hell is that about? Only to come out and then like it's seeming like he's gonna be a hard ass to her, like, who you on the phone with? But then also in the preview it's like I got Andy's back, as if he gotta prove something to her. And I'm like, you're about to undo all of the like, I'm the boss, do what the fuck I said, because you're about to bow down to her and need her damn belief in your explanation when you don't have to explain shit to her. So that's why I kind of struggle with the Robin thing. I feel like by the end he was really undoing all that he did in the whole keep your enemies close. The him with Hayden scene was too long. They repeated the lines 3 times. Like, I know you won't, in reference to like, I won't let you down. I know you won't. I won't let you down. I know you won't. Like, it's just like, come on, Tyler. Come on, writers. All of that to me really worked to undo what that was supposed to actually be, which is something that's very interesting. Robin's coming back, taking claim of his company, reasserting his presence, establishing new rules, setting a different tone, which could create conflict across the board while he's also, you know, protecting Andy, or is he? That's a brilliant thing to do with his character, but the way they had him moving about, it just felt very fumbly and weird.
I agree, and that's one of the things I was talking about when I said the things that was happening in this show with the writing for Fatima, and the reason why he was an MVP for me is because it was just amazing just to see somebody tell Fatima to do something. because everybody tend to walk on eggshells, when she's
Yeah.
around. So as you stated, for him to come back to make his presence known, I am Robin. This is my company. I own most of the shares of this company. And then for Fatima to be in the same spot, because it was like when everything else happened, when they came back to that scene and she was in the same spot, I said, I know the hell not. I know Fatima is not in that same spot. And so when he comes out of his office, yeah, I was just, coming to see if you needed anything. Your boss is Hayden, not Robin. You're not his assistant. You wouldn't be asking him for anything. So for me, that didn't make sense either. And then, as you stated in the preview where they show, him telling, well, I have Andy's back or I'm doing what's best for her. That's none of Fatima's business. Fatima being Andy's friend has nothing to do with you. As you told her, when you're on the clock, I need you to be doing some work. I need you to get to your office. That's it. We don't have to have a conversation. I don't have to tell you anything. So I agree with that. And even like going back to um when the ladies were, congregating at Andy's condo, I don't know if y'all caught it, but when Sabrina was talking, they were trying to figure out who killed Gary or everybody having a motive to kill Gary. Sabrina said, well, you're the one who said, that you didn't have an issue or you didn't feel anything when he was laid out bleeding on your living room floor. I said, her living room
Girl.
floor? Was she getting married at her condo that we met? What the hell? That pissed me off so much,
It
Erica,
pissed me off
because I said,
too.
wait a minute.
It pissed me off too.
I I was enraged. Like stuff like that makes me so mad because I'm like, what was that, writers? That's why I said getting new writers, because when you can't even the continuity, hell, this was the last episode of last season, and you telling me in episode 3 you already making that major of a mistake? And how did no one catch this? I was it was so many things that took me out of this
One
episode
takes.
when I really
One
wanted to be
takes
in
is
it.
how
And
you
I'm
don't
just like, I
catch it.
can't.
One take is how you
Facts.
don't catch it. That is exactly how you do not catch it. And I've been calling for a goddamn script supervisor to be on set the whole damn time because my
Me
God.
too. Me too.
The living room flow.
Yes. I said, wait, what?
It
No,
just makes
we're
you
not
feel
doing that.
like you can't actually take the show seriously. And it's not that you're trying to like, or at least me, I'm not trying to be uptight about the show at all. But I get into certain shows. I like, if I'm giving you my time and attention, then that means something. And you sitting up here basically pissing on my leg and telling me it's raining is never going to work for me. Like, why am I watching if you're going to make up wherever the hell you want the characters to say and not in a compelling story driven type of way, but like the man gets murdered at a random ass banquet hall and now you're saying that the murder or the attempted murder happens in her living room and you're going to, so I didn't need to watch the damn finale then, actually. If you was just going to rewrite and like revisionist history this shit.
That's facts. And that's how a lot of things get misconstrued, because if someone didn't watch the finale and they watch this episode, they're gonna be like, oh, Gary got killed on in Andy's house on the living room floor. Why they there now? Why this isn't a crime scene? It's just it leaves so much room for error. And it's like you said, because I had made a declaration to myself that I'm like, you know what? You cannot expect Broadway at the circus. And that is how I feel about Sistas. So I'm like, I'm gonna have a good time with the show. But then you have stuff like this, and it's like, as you stated, you get into it, like you're still investing time with it. The very least y'all can do, writers, and I mean the very least, is get, as you stated, I've been saying this since season, I don't even know when. A script supervisor is so desperately needed on this show, because the amount of times that we have had to sit with things getting rewritten, the way Karen and Zach met getting rewritten every 10 episodes. Like, it's so many things that happen and they change it and act like we don't know what happened. We
Yeah.
weren't there. We weren't watching. It almost makes me feel like you believe your audience is dumb. Like, that's the feeling that I get. And I hate that feeling. But that's
Yep.
what I have to believe, because y'all just change stuff as if, oh, don't worry about it. They don't worry. It don't mean nothing. It means something though. It definitely means something.
It definitely means something. The whole show is given one take. Which isn't terrible all the time. Like, there are moments where, like, ooh, Ebony be knocking it out the park. So kudos to her ass, especially when we were like in season 5. Ooh, I could only imagine her going through all that and that being one take. Brilliance. Like, do your thing. 21, do your thing. But there has to be some kind of pickups. Like, whoever watches it back, like, are y'all doing dailies? Like, are y'all like running, like checking footage? Like, I get we doing one take, but if we gotta do pickups, we need to do pickups. Cause this is not going to be able to cut it. Y'all going to see our 8th season, and last season we were celebrating unseating Girlfriends for like the historic run that they had. But like, you cannot run up against Girlfriends and have poor quality and story and like, you just can't. Like, Girlfriends is still where the hell they at, and I'll support all of the girls on this show. Like, I want the best for them, and I think that they're all brilliant, very, very talented actors. But y'all are not going to tell me that y'all are like now leading Girlfriends when shit like this is happening. Because Mara would never have William fall out in Joan's house and then say it was at Tony's condo. It would never happen.
Mara would, shout out to Mara. Oh, she gives us so much quality content for Black women. She would absolutely never.
Robert K says, can't nobody convince me Tyler ain't still writing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a major plot point for them to keep up and slip up there. Yep. Christy says, I want them to wrap up this Who Killed Gary ASAP. I was saying before the season started, no shade, but they ain't got the strength of power writing and drag this Gary plot out. That's real. That's facts. But the crazy thing is that they have a very similar audience, or the audience could really cross over, but you don't. And even Power has gotten damn ridiculous, but there's a certain level that they don't drop below. So yeah, I totally understand how you gave Robin the MVP, because he definitely was the most interesting thing on the screen in this episode, for sure. But even that, they just didn't even knock it out the park with him. And it's like, they can't even focus on one character and just give one character stellar dialogue or like stellar setup. It's like mediocre all around. Like, I can't. And I did appreciate somebody telling Fatima to get to work. She didn't do it, but at least somebody said it. And like, I get that we all support Duval and all, but Tyler, he ain't need this check from this episode. Girl, I don't know if I was really tuned out or not, but did he only appear on screen for that goofy ass phone call? Because Fatima says he knows her so well, and he needs to be privy right now to their business, and she needs to woe is me about Hayden when you started it with him. Didn't you slap his ass as soon as you got in there? And now you, oh my God, I gotta warn Andy about Hayden, and I'm just so stressed, Zach, and you know me so well. Wah, 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 wah. Like,
girl. First of all, I knew this episode was gonna be on some BS from the first scene with the sisters. When everybody was going around, we got when the first mention of Fatima's name was Danny telling Sabrina, this don't work out with you at the bank, you can become a lawyer. Fatima can help you with the application. I said, well, hell, that's gonna be all she can help her with, because she sure as hell can't help her pass the test. So I guess the application is all, yes, Danny, that she can help her with. But then it's like, you have Andy right there, who is y'all friend, who is a lawyer. Why would you jump to Fatima's name? Like, Fred, I said, I knew. I said, oh, yeah. I said, here go to BS.
Oh my gosh, here we go. I was just waiting for Robin to say some extra shit, because he also was like, smart girl. And I was just like, oh, great. Is she gonna make a great attorney because she knew not the da-da-da? Like... And at this point, I spend too much time when they're bringing up Fatima when she's not actually in the scene, like trying to figure out, like, damn, am I hating or is this really just OD? It feels like they are OD, but maybe I'm also just hating, and I'm perfectly fine with the both, because why do y'all need to say the things that y'all are saying about her? And then she doesn't actually back it up. We literally watch her spend the whole goddamn day sitting out front the damn receptionist desk, who is doing her job, might I add, after being told to go do some goddamn work and still not do it. But y'all want me to believe that this girl gonna be a stellar goddamn attorney, not passing no tests in law school, that she's a smart girl while also still not doing no goddamn work and standing outside the front of the law firm. She's obsessed with Hayden, whether y'all asses want to believe it or not. Like, I'm gonna need a little bit less tell and a little bit more show. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna need that too, because it's like it's giving OD. Because I know people gonna say no. Allie, you're a hater. I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. But
I
it's
think I'm
OD.
gonna take it too, friend.
It's OD, because it's like at some point for me, Fatima's name didn't even need to be brought up in that. I could even see when Danny was like, yeah, when they were saying that they all were interrogated, and for them to say, yeah, they interrogated Fatima and Zach as well. Okay, I give you that part. But it was just bringing up Fatima's name in that moment. I'm like, that didn't even make a bit of sense. And then even for Robin, he was all smashed. Oh, congratulations, and this. And then when she told, because pretty much Hayden feels like she's a glorified paper
Secretary.
pusher. I am enrolled. I said, what that mean? You enrolled? Okay. I need you to do something, but it's like you said, like, being in all honesty, it definitely needs to be more showing than telling, because based on Fatima's actions, what they are telling us, it doesn't line up.
Yeah.
It just doesn't line up
It
at
just
all.
don't. I would love for it too, but she gonna have to actually do some goddamn work. Like, we're gonna have to see Hayden back on the offensive while she's in her office doing something. Even if she's playing solitaire like Zach be doing down in his goddamn office. Like, at least look like it. Pretend.
Yeah.
So
There was nothing
Robin, I'm gonna
that
go
pisses me
run
off
an
too. You got
errand.
a whole office. Girl.
Oh, hey Robin, I'm just gonna go run an errand. Is this a
Like,
Jones, Benson, and Leland errand?
I said, Tima, this is a partner. He owns this law firm, and you're on the clock, and you're telling him you about to go run an errand. See, Andy got you spoiled. With Andy, you could just get up and go, come to work when you please. So Andy came to work when she pleased, which brought me to when Hayden was telling Robin about his billable hours. Oh well, Andy's billable hours doubled. Stop it. They was working the same case. Don't do that. I said, you know what? If you're gonna give the leading cast a favorable nod, it needs to make sense.
It has to.
It has to make sense.
It has to. Again, stop telling us and show us that, because I see Andy ass leave at 5, if not before, and she gonna go get some damn afternoon delight or evening loving all of the goddamn time. She is running up out of that damn law firm to go get her some smacks, and you want me to believe her billable hours have doubled? If so, she is robbing clients. It's theft. She's lying. It's fraud. Okay? Fraud.
Oh my God.
And she ain't slick.
She is Robin. I said, what?
Andy's ass is Robin.
This episode just felt like, I honestly, I'm like, y'all, I can't even get into this because this stuff just doesn't make sense. And it's borderline stupid. And I'm like, I don't want to bash this show, but look at what y'all giving us. Like, seriously. Fatima has a whole office that she can go and hide out in and make these calls, but she's gonna stand at the front desk right where the partner is. That it makes no sense. Just
And why
none.
is he there? What happened to Robin's office? And now all of a sudden Andy's office got this trap door in it. What the fuck is going on? What the hell is going on down in this law firm? One white man the shit goes up. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, I'm here because Leland died. He's gone. And he white. They had his funeral 2 days after he died. And you just not coming back.
Hello.
But our girl, Karen made a great point. The timing is impeccable. Gary got stabbed, you popped up, bruh.
Even that feels so
Okay.
weak, though. Like, do we really believe Robin did it?
It does. No. No, not at all.
And also, what's the girl's beef with Robin? Like, I feel this is where we get into the whole territory of like, oh, to support your friend means to just say yes to whatever they want, and she wants Jordan, so now we're on Team Jordan. No, I'm gonna stand for the right for the job. Here, I'm gonna stand in line with the nigga that actually can handle the job, and it ain't Jordan's ass. So why do we have beef with Robin? What could Andy ever tell them about Robin? Or has she ever told them about Robin? I don't understand.
I was so thrown off. We here. I was so thrown off. I said, what is this energy? And interestingly, it was coming more so from Sabrina. And I was like, what? Why are you like you've been a little bit too intrusive for me. And I'm just like, I don't understand what's happening right now. Like I didn't understand what was happening in that moment as to why their energy, especially Sabrina's own, was like that. Oh, you're back at the firm. What exactly does that mean? I said, y'all haven't said more than 5 words to this man the entire time he's been on this series, and now all of a sudden y'all act like y'all Ace Boon Coon. I'm lost. It was the writing. Everything about this episode was the writing for me because I'm like, what? And I think Sabrina called him an ex. Karen called him an ex. And I think we talked about this last week. And I'm like, what? Y'all throwing the word ex around here like Andy and Robin was in a relationship. I'm not understanding.
No, they were just
I can
hunching,
understand
friend.
That was your ex.
What do you call the nigga that you was ex hunching? I would call mine that too.
But see, and that could be like
situationships too. I will say that too because it's easier. It's easier to say my ex especially when you're talking and you don't actually want to get into it. I'm gonna say my ex even if it was a situationship because I don't need to tell your ass that. Like you get the fucking point. Don't talk to the nigga. He over there. Divert your eyes, ho. I don't actually use ex as like a reverence type of thing, but that's just me personally. It's to get the point across that at some point. And if it was more, actually, this is interesting because if it was more, I won't refer to you as my ex. I'll actually take the time to like, well, no, there's one that I do still, and it was still more, but it was also fucking ridiculous. If I still like, I just use X for a lot of things. Well, I don't actually have a lot of them, but I'll use X for more than just established committed relationships that ended. If you used to stick parts of you and the parts of me, that will get it. And it won't necessarily be like, oh, me speaking to the relationship, but it's the easiest way for me to pinpoint that there was something of whatever and move on. I don't know if that makes sense.
And see, that's interesting. It does, but that's interesting because I only use X for someone that I was in a relationship with. If it was just somebody I was like messing with, or as you like to say, sticking parts of him into parts of me, you gonna get, oh, my little, somebody I used to deal with back in the day, or little old piece of work or whatever, but they don't. I say that, but I've never used X.
I need to get there. I need to get there. I would love to say that. That's my old work. I don't even know how to say that right.
Old piece of work. That's an old piece of work, right? But you gotta say it like with a little swag because you can't like be in conversation like, yeah, girl, that's just my old piece of work. You gotta be like, that's my old piece of work over there. As you said, don't look, but that's him. But yeah, but okay, so I can rock with the X thing. But I don't know what was happening in the first part of this episode. And then the hug that Robin gave, I said, baby, that was nothing professional, not
I
that
actually
hug.
got to
But
rewatch
I
it
see
because
you,
I
boy.
didn't even hear the first half. I was trying to get my shit together and get the record the episode. It wasn't connected, so I didn't even hear the first like 7 minutes of the episode. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna wing it. I don't give a fuck what happened. Nothing was
And
happening.
still ain't missing
These
nothing.
girls were just sitting
Not a
around
thing.
talking. I'm like, whatever they said, whatever. So what was said? Or what was done? All I heard was, I did hear Robin say, I'm gonna let Andy say, but I feel like that also could have came from the preview. I saw him exit, but I didn't hear any of the stuff when the girls came in and all of that.
That was tonight's episode where they was like, so what are you doing here? And then he was like, I'll let Andy tell y'all, what's been going on. Basically, Sabrina was doing most of the talking, like questioning him about like what he was doing there. Is he back at the firm? And then Karen was the one that actually stopped and was like, oh, how you doing, Robin? Like she actually spoke to him and everything like that. And she just sat down. And then once Robin gave Andy the hug, of course everybody was like, oh, what's going on? Because we can tell this ain't nothing about him being your counsel. He trying to counsel something, but it ain't no case.
I'm gonna always find a way to bring Sabrina's ridiculousness back to her goofy ass partner choice. And I blame Rich. If you're letting this man impress upon you that Andy is a goddamn trollop, so much so that you come in here with the only Negro that can handle the job of handling Andy with so much callousness, it's giving your little bald-headed ass romantic partner is getting to your ass, and I need you to pipe it down because you're with the narcissist your goddamn self. I love it.
Was done with Sabrina. I was done with Sabrina when she told Andy that what she was doing was somewhat, which I said, somewhat romantic. That she did all of this to protect Jordan.
I said, Sabrina, please. What? Sabrina, please. Miss me with the fantasization and the fantasizing around some goddamn trauma. This is not no motherfucking Disney hoe. This is not that. Romantic? What she's willing to do? Don't make me glitch out over here, Sabrina. What the hell are you talking about with your goofy ass?
Yeah. I said I can't. I can't.
It's romantic that you were ready to up in your life and potentially catch a charge to protect this man's councilman run. This nigga ain't even running for president. He's running for city council. You want her to yeet her goddamn career and her freedom in the oncoming traffic for a potential councilman? And it's...
Which brings me to another point. That's what got on my nerves. I need to know why they're acting like Robin is running for Senate or governor, mayor.
Wait, so Robin or Jordan?
Gary said he has pictures. I'm sorry, Jordan. I said Robin. I'm sorry, I meant to say Jordan. They're acting as if Jordan is running for these top seats when he's really not, and making a big deal out to me out of nothing. Gary said he has pictures. Well, post them. You got
Please
pictures. Well, you not gonna blackmail me. And then when Andy was like, I lied, and everybody was like, duh, like, who you fooling? It made no sense. One moment you so in love with Jordan and he's the cherry on your sundae, and then the next you dump him to get back with Gary. It's like nothing is adding up. And to think that your sisters don't know you well enough to know that something is going on, and then to tell them that Gary is blackmailing you, and then when they realize what the hell he's holding over your head, well, if he don't do this, he said he's gonna kill Jordan. Well, guess what? We're gonna go to the FBI. This is what he said. This is what we're gonna do. But you are not gonna blackmail me over some pictures. Post them. Tell the whole world.
Hell, you say you gonna kill him, kill him.
Kill him.
I'm sick of you, Gary. Like, Andy should be so far past the point of like being able to be blackmailed. Whatever you said that you're gonna do, please do that shit so you can get it over with and I can get on with my life.
Please. Please. And then the fake blaming of self. You know, I'm just upset that I got Jordan and Penelope involved with Gary. Well, first of all, Gary was boning Penelope before you knew about it because Sis was 7 months pregnant when you were introduced to her. What does it have to do with you,
Hello.
Andy? Gary was already a. I said, writers, y'all have. When I tell you, Erica, now I have sat through some really disappointing episodes, but this one here, I think it's probably is in the top two for the inconsistency with the writing. That is what pissed me off about this episode. It was so many holes, so many. It was so much. I was like, I really disliked this episode for that
Yeah.
alone because I couldn't get into it.
Same, friend. Same. I don't believe any of the sisters did it, even though we spent too much time going around the goddamn island in the kitchen of the penthouse trying to figure out who did it. And Eddie's so dramatic. Y'all really think I did it? Oh my God. Why would I mean, I'm a lawyer. So much wasted time.
It was so much. And at one point, I did love Gary, and I'm just trying to pinpoint. He wasn't always this way. And I'm just trying to pinpoint when he became this. I said, no, we're not.
Not only
No,
was
we're
he
not.
not always this way, but he was almost perfect. When?
Please tell us.
When, Andrea? When he was in the
I
womb?
said, when he was in the womb, that's the only time perfection has ever been across Gary. Because from season 1, episode 1, Gary has been trashed. We were introduced to those two characters first, Andy and Gary. He was boning you in your house because why?
At
He's a
6
married
o'clock in
man.
the
And after he
morning.
leaves the
With
gym,
way too much
6 o'clock
daylight in the
morning.
goddamn room because the room was poorly lit
Okay.
for the damn scene.
Okay, you his little piece of work. Okay, you was his little piece of work every morning at 6 a.m. telling his wife he going to the damn gym. And he was getting the workout all right, wasn't he, Andy?
He ain't even bring
Don't
you no
talk about he
goddamn
was
hotcakes and
perfect.
sausage. Well, he brought the sausage. He left the,
Girl,
you know
he
what?
bought a sausage.
Almost perfect is wild work, Andrea Barnes. Almost perfect is like what. This is exactly why I don't believe that Andrea actually knows what love is. Because if this is your definition of perfect, you goddamn got your shit wrong. Like, your dictionary is malfunctioning, honey. You don't have the correct definitions to things. So you are misguided, my sweetheart. Gary Border's almost perfect when Aaron Carter sits right there. Girl.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please. Please.
Okay.
She trying to pinpoint a point that never even happened within the course of their damn relationship, happened way before her. And what kills me is, like, I do believe that Andrea knows Gary to a certain extent, but you don't know him like you think you know him because you fell in love with not only his representative, with the nigga's Broadway act. But it wasn't even that big of a Broadway act because you settled for being the other goddamn woman for 6 months. Like, he really, like, he was pretending, but he also didn't even have to pretend that goddamn much. Like, Andrea, please. Please. You are nobody's judge of character, especially not a good judge of character. You will never be able to go back and pinpoint when anything shifted for y'all because y'all were on rocky grounds to begin with. And that's the shit that your ass needs to actually sit with and accept. That will be, to me, us going to a very meaningful place when Andrea Barnes realizes that she settled from the very beginning and he was always trash. But y'all keep trying to pedal along this whole Gary was perfect until he wasn't narrative. I was there, ho. watching you get your back broke at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then at 6 p.m. trying to have birthday dinners with your goddamn friends feeling sad, talking about, I'm going to go ahead and leave him because he didn't da-da-da-da-da-da. Please, Andrea, please.
I really wish that the writers would allow the characters to elaborate, because for you to tell me that Gary was damn near perfect, I said, so as I'm watching this, I said, when was he perfect? When his ex-wife broke into your house and shot him with them rubber bullets and had you begging for your life? Was he perfect when he was in your bed with a model straddled over him, talking about he got a sex issue, he couldn't get it up for you because you was a hoe? Was it the time where he was spying on you with a telescope? Was that when he was damn near perfect? Was it when he drove you all the way out to the country in that big mama's house, and then had the FBI come and have you on your knees in the dirt, had your stuff seized, you had to stay with Sabrina, use her car to buy you some clothes for work? Was it then, Andy? I'm trying to understand where the perfection came in. Was it when his ex-wife tried to sue you? Oh, and your friends.
Or when his ex-wife tried to have you jumped at your job.
Okay, tried to have you jump at the job in the parking garage. When Paris had to fight Gary. I can go on and on.
When Gary threw his ex-wife off the top of the parking garage.
When was it?
That was the moment for me. I will never let that shit go. That was the moment for me when Gary yeeted that girl off the top of that parking garage. I said, I'm done with the nigga. He's not coming back from this. And the way that everybody seems to just roll past it, like he did not toss this lady off the top of a parking garage.
I mean, I don't know. I think Jasmine kind of had that one coming up a little bit.
Allie, getting tossed off the top of a parking garage. Nobody got that shit coming.
You destroyed my mother's ashes. You put my mom's ashes in the damn gas.
He's
but
Gary.
Honestly, though, I don't even. I don't think
wait, that's what she did to. Gary's parents are dead.
His mom is dead.
See, it's the recycling of the storylines for me, because then everybody's ashes get played with. Everybody, like, I don't give a damn. You do not yeet no woman off the top of a parking garage, Ellie.
That was diabolical, though. I ain't even gonna lie. That was diabolical work. It was diabolical work. It was.
This is not the WWE, Gary. I knew then it was a rap, and I would never take Gary seriously again when he did that. But that's when it was perfect.
Thing about Gary's perfection. I gotta say one thing about Gary's perfection. Was he perfect when he lied to Andy about his autistic son not wanting him to leave the home? Was he perfect then, Andy? When he used
while also telling you that he never lied. Go ahead.
Was it when we found out that Jasmine was not Gary's first wife, but he was married before that? Oh, was he perfect when we found out that he killed the girl he took to his damn high school prom? When does perfection enter in?
When did it kick in?
With Gary Boyd? I'm trying to figure out.
We just want to know. We just curious.
And then, just in Andy fashion, she has to bring up Zach to Karen. My good sis said, well, I mean, Zach ain't the one in the hospital room with a stab woman in his chest fighting for his life. I holler. Because I'm like, yeah, what you're not going to do is bring Zach up right now because we on your ass. That's what you're not going to do.
That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to do it while also very much so being planted on the other side with the other goddamn woman. So you have lost all privileges to even be able to make jokes with me about this. Yeah.
Ooh, come on.
Back.
Come on.
I mean, if she was my friend.
Okay.
I would have got her ass right together if she was my friend. Because we barely made it through your Fatima gate of it all. Don't play with me.
Please. And you're still on thin ice in my opinion.
Y'all, when was Gary perfect? Let us know in the chat. Ain't no one says where are Gary's kids in foster care.
Got to be.
I want to be clear. I'm not laughing at foster care. I'm laughing at the complete mishandling of this. And it's like, they write these storylines and these very specific characteristics for various characters and then abandon them when they don't actually need them no more. Where are the children? Where are the children? Calvin Rodney was a father of a son with a raggedy ass baby mama who just couldn't leave him alone. And we have not seen that woman pop up. Not one time he was in a whole goddamn show, but she was crazy. And we also never saw the kid.
She's crazy.
Gary, autistic son, however, daughter, never need to see him. He got plenty of time to menace. Like, he literally got Beyonce's 24 hours in a day, and I don't understand it. Child, Aaron's kids, we understand what happened. They gave us a story for that. But everybody else said, F them kids.
Capital and in bold. You did.
Must be with Jasmine Mama. Maybe.
What got to be.
Andy listed like 3 of the thousands Gary's transgressions is crazy and not even his best work. But they're still trying to act like he's perfect or was perfect. Like, girl.
I can't.
Jamara said they can't elaborate because then they're going to just make it more complicated and it don't need to be. That's real.
That's facts, though. That's facts.
Ain't nothing else happened. We got the random ass pop up from Zach that we didn't need, and he let her know I'll come in here and whip his ass again. Why do we need you to come in here and whip Hayden's ass? Have you not learned nothing? I need them to immediately tell me where we're at in the timeline, because the way that Zach behaved on Fatima last week, I need to understand if this is before or after. And if he is still choosing violence, then it's F him for the rest of his life for me. But we're going to get to that because we're going to talk about Fatima before we get out of here.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that, yeah. And another thing, too, like with that whole situation, I said, okay, so you just know me so well. I said, first of all, you have a damn attitude. Anybody, even if somebody didn't know you, they will be able to pick it up. We're not going to start this with, oh, Zach knows me so well. Fatima knows Zach, so we'll come like you hit in your face. What's up? What's going on? Then he says, what is the truth? I ain't doing nothing. You need me to come down there? Yeah, you're right. You're not doing nothing, Zach.
You're never doing nothing.
You're never doing nothing. I said, I can't. You're never not doing nothing, Zach. That's what you do. Now come down there. And do what? And then she's trying to make it seem like Hayden is bothering her. Hayden is being a menace. What is he doing to
you? All we can tell is he doing his goddamn job. Unlike you.
He's doing his job. I said, I can't. I can't. And then there's another thing too. Oh, what you about to say?
I wish we would have got a confirmation. I wish we would have got Robin telling her, yeah, I signed you to Hayden, because we only got Hayden delivering that news, and then she got to not believe it, and then it still felt like when he walked off that she still didn't believe it, and we never got the like landing of like, oh no, this is it, and I need to get my act together. But what were you about to say? Oh my god, I'm really getting sick.
Oh no, I'm trying to figure out how somebody with a dark ski mask on walked down the halls of this hospital in broad daylight, was able to get into Gary's room, put drugs in his IV. I said, when that came on, Erica, literally, y'all, this is exactly what I said. When that happened, I said, sisters, I said, y'all can kiss my ass. Because what is, what? Y'all, I was done. This episode here, oh. Okay.
I mean, we get it with the whole ominousness of it all, but Allie is right. Broad as daylight, dressed in all black like an omen, coming in here with a damn needle sticking out art. Tyler, please. Please. I need CBS to kick in overdrive with their whole little, with the gates or whatever the hell their little black soap operas gonna be, because I need to understand how black soap operas are supposed to be done. Like, I get what Tyler's trying to do, but I fear he's failing at it miserably with this.
He's failed. And this is the thing that get me though, like I haven't watched soap operas in years. However, I remember these soap operas. I don't know if you saw my comment under your video. You had brought up the character of Reva from Guiding Light. And that she was my favorite character as a kid because my grandma watched those. And this was a character, she was a white woman, but this woman married two brothers and their daddy. And nobody better than I. Because that's what you call impeccable writing. Okay? And Reva was that chick. Okay?
And character, I was about to say, because she's that girl. That was character development there. Mm-hmm.
What? Mm-hmm. Reva, I mean, she was, I think if you're going to study anybody, like a character on a soap opera that was like the character development, Nikki Newman and Reva. I can't remember Reva's last name. But those two characters.
McIntyre, I
think. Even when they're, yes. Even when they're doing stuff like with soap operas, they'll let the audience know who killed the person. And that person is still moving around their life and other people got to find out it was them. Or if they didn't do it, or they hid the face, at least you may have seen like the back of their head, or you were able. You're like, but dang, who was that? The fact that this person had on a whole covering, their face was completely covered in broad daylight in a hospital, and no one saw you. In what world? What world? Gary is literally in ICU. You cannot walk down the halls of ICU and don't see nobody. I said, you know what?
Yep.
I said, I'm done. I can't. Yeah, that was something there.
And then Gary's old work is standing outside the door like a damn watchdog. Yo, Hudson wants to hunch on Gary so bad. He wants to hunch on Gary real bad.
He do. I know you were saying last week, like, I was like, why he just look wet? And you was like, because he been running through the hospital. and when I talked to him today, like, why does this be? Hudson looks dirty. He just, I'm like, why your hell? You just look wet.
He look greasy.
Like a wet dog. That's what it is. He looks greasy as hell.
He do.
And I'm like, and you're right, Erica. He does want to hunch. Like, I'm thoroughly convinced. You want to hunch on that one. Because it don't make no sense. What are you doing here, Andy? What you going to do, Andy? Why are you all up on my girl like this? Every time she pop up, you got an attitude. Every single time.
Every time. Girl. It's giving jealous. It's giving Hudson wishes he was a bad Hudson's the Drake of Sistas. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it, y'all. Mystery Man. Gary, somebody said in the chat, Gary's still not going to die. I agree with you. He ain't going to die from chemical warfare. He clearly ain't dying from physical warfare. And at some point, somebody going to need to put a root on his ass and see if they can get him in the spiritual realm.
He go not in the spiritual realm.
This man is a damn Terminator. He don't die. Like
he multiplied his damn baby's kids.
Oh my gosh. Anything else y'all want to talk about from this week's episode of Sistas as Allie and I get ready to segue into Tyler Perry's Fatima. If y'all are not watching and or don't want to be spoiled from last week's episode, because we're just going to tack it on here. I wanted to do a separate live, but I cannot bring y'all are lucky I'm watching shit, just to be quite honest. Y'all are lucky that I'm even watching it. If I gotta talk about it live, I'm so glad that Allie's here. And this is the best y'all gonna get of Allie talking about it, because she don't want to do the shit either, but she committed to our conversation, and I love her for that.
Yes.
But we about to go into Fatima, specifically last week's episode, which were what, 7 and 8?
Yeah, 7 and 8.
Okay. I mean, we haven't talked about the season thus far, so if y'all want to talk about something that has happened before then, but nothing has topped episode 7 and 8, so I don't even know if there's anything else to discuss.
No. Ain't nothing to discuss. No.
All of the Zach holics, y'all might want to go ahead and leave the chat now. If you haven't seen my video, you ain't gonna understand what type of time I'm on. But Zachary Taylor over in Fatima can kiss my whole ass 62 times plus 3. And then jump his ass off a bridge. Okay?
I just tell y'all. So last Thursday was a moment. Okay, first of all, there's a 3-hour time difference between myself and Erica. Now I'm at work, and I don't even think it was 8:30. Erica sends me a message. I'm like, what the hell is she doing up so early? So Erica was on one. Erica had me rolling. Okay. Erica had stayed up. She done watched some episodes of, what is it, Beauty in Black. She had watched something else, I think. And then she watched both episodes of the team. I hadn't watched nothing yet. She had me rolling about Beauty in the Black. She had me rolling about Fatima. But nothing that she told me could have prepared me for episode 8. Episode 7 was something too, but episode 8, I was literally floored. Like, my mouth was wide open as to how we saw Zachary Taylor do what he did. I'm gonna give my props to DeVal, because he played the hell out of that. And I know once they said cut, that brother blood pressure was through the roof. Because that was wild. That was wild. But he did it. Kudos to DeVal's performance. But Zachary Taylor, as I've stated many times before, I have never liked Zach. From season 1, episode 1. And after what I watched, there is absolutely nothing that nobody who want to justify Zach's behavior, justify what he did to Belinda's home. And I know some people don't watch the team who's listening to us. The best way I can describe in short what happened.
Don't even worry about it,
Jeremiah,
sweetheart, because I'm about to pull it up. And if you don't watch, your ass gonna watch today.
Go ahead, boo.
Because I personally don't think that we could do it justice in trying to describe it. I'm not a spoiler.
That's true.
I'm not a spoiler, period. But I literally was trying not to spoil it, but also was trying to warn Allie. And I just said, make sure that you don't watch it until you go into your lunch break. Don't watch episode 8 until you go into your lunch break. Because I don't know what the hell they decided they wanted to be on, but they was definitely on one. Let me see. Go ahead, keep talking, Allie. I'm going to try to pull it up.
Yeah, I can't do it justice, y'all, but it was one of them things where I understood the reason why Zach was angry and the reason why Zach was upset, because his brother was wrestling with Fatima, and she ended up hitting her head. First of all, it was the dumbest flip I ever seen in my life. I would have had more respect for the moment if he actually would have just pushed the hell out of her and caused her to hit her head. Because it looks like they were just, tussling over this purse. I don't even know. It was stupid. But anyway, she ended up hitting her head. And I think she was out of unconscious for a little minute. And nobody was trying to tell him. He found out. Now he's trying to kick his brother's ass. And I said, I'm so interested, because did you not put your hands on a pregnant Karen? And then when her man, well, he wasn't her man, but when her other baby daddy was trying to protect her from you proceeded to assault him, with into a fight. And that has been one of my ultimate issues with Zach, is that he can do something. He can go and tear up somebody's house and do whatever, but nobody better not do it to him. And when he apologizes, I expect you to just readily forgive me and accept it. But the things that Zach did in episode 8, I don't know how he's gonna come back from that with anybody. He cursed everybody out, Fatima included. Now Fatima did gaslight the hell out of him.
Y'all. This man.
It can't even be put in the word.
In Belinda's house and tore it down. Oh shoot. Tore it down, y'all. I gotta be careful about copyrights, but I'm gonna spoon feed it to you just so that you get the very, very real clarity of what the hell we talking about. And like cool, calm, and collected. Like he's angry, but also he's very clear of what he's doing, and he's making the decision to do it. Like the lamp. She says her mama gave her this lamp. It's a very nice lamp. Y'all tell me where Jeremiah is, because you're right, this is a nice lamp. Look at how distraught Fatima's ass is. Diabolical work, Zachary Taylor. Diabolical work. Belinda's on her damn knees, begging this man not to break up her the lamp that her mama gave. Here you go. Reason why he gets to just every last bit of his feelings and emotions that he going through, he get to just exact it on Belinda's house. Oh, I forgot about this part. Where he asked Tony if he was really his homeboy to break their vase, because not only
shut the fuck up,
and everybody got shut the fuck up. Yeah. Everybody got shut the fuck up. Y'all, this scene went on for so long.
It was a long scene, y'all. But he told
I'm trying to get to the points where he breaking shit. But hold on, without getting copyright.
Yeah, that's all.
Everybody had to shut the F up. Everybody had to shut up, except for when they needed to. There you go. Child.
Yeah.
But you know what? What I appreciate is that for whatever reason, Tyler made sure that we have a good antagonist for Zachary Taylor's ass. Because if nobody else is going to get him together, his crackhead ass brother who stole Fatima's gun is going to get him together. Yeah. Because he went up there to go try to beat Jeremiah's ass, and Jeremiah let them things sing.
Jenna.
Best part of the whole thing. The best part of the whole thing is like that is the response. And not that I necessarily want Jeremiah to kill Zach, but I want Zach to have consequences for his goddamn actions. Him running around town. He spent the last 4 episodes running around town looking for Jeremiah, running around town looking for answers, running around town pissed because nobody wanted to tell him the truth. And mind you, yes, they lied to you, but this is the exact reason why they lied to you. Look at you, behaving like a goddamn Neanderthal. A fucking buffoon, if you will. I wouldn't tell your ass the truth either if this is what I knew I had to goddamn deal with. You up in my frenemy's house, breaking up all her shit, finna get all of us shot because your crackhead ass brother is high as hell with my gun. And just because you need to not feel weak, you need to feel like a man. You need to puff your chest out and beat on that hoe. Now everybody else gotta suffer. Zach, go to hell. Immediately go to hell.
And then this thing to get me too. When he was talking to Mrs. Tyrone, there's a character by the name of Mrs. Tyrone who owns a barbershop. And he's kind of like the wise, the sage, wise eye. And he tells Zach that, hey, man, you need to think about what you're about to do. Because if your brother is here and you go and beat him up and he dies, you're going to be charged. And then Zach was like, well, I got to do what I got to do. And it's like you said, Eric, I'm trying to figure out where they are in this timeline because Karen got pregnant before Fatima. He's not at all concerned about the child he has with Karen on the way. You just want to be out here. I gotta protect Fatima. I'm doing this for Fatima. You're not doing anything for Fatima. Fatima don't want you to do this. And then you said you can't be out here looking weak. And in my mind, I'm thinking, so you don't want to look weak to a crackhead? You're willing to fight a crackhead because you don't want to look weak to a crackhead. I said, Fatima, you are a bigger fool. And you just a fool. And then I saw the preview. She's gonna do the same thing to Deja House in the upcoming episodes. I said, so both of y'all just out here wilding. I can't. I just can't. And maybe I'll do like an overview for the first half of the team because I don't like talking about this show, but Zachary Taylor for me, and y'all didn't even see this part. Now, Belinda is the house he's at. She's the chick that called him and told him that his brother was at her house. When Zach arrives, what does he do? Does he ring the doorbell? No.
Oh,
Does he knock on the door? Even
he,
forcefully? No. You know what this bastard does? He kicks in a door.
oh
He
my
literally
God.
kicks in a door.
Literally, y'all, we are not exaggerating. I'm going to get to it. This, whew.
A mess. Destroyed.
Why? But I be
Yeah, he gonna
damned.
tell Belinda, "You lucky I don't hit women." Now this is my issue that I have with Zach. No one is gonna tell me a person who leads with aggression and violence and lack of self control is able to control himself just because someone is a woman.
Mm.
I don't believe that for nothing. Yeah, I don't believe that at all. The fact that when I had to go back and I rewatched this scene today when Karen and Aaron were at dinner and Zach, because I was gonna make a video comparing the situations, and
Mm-hmm.
Zach went there. He went there with aggression. He went there with violence. The same emotions that Jeremiah did to Fatima. And when Karen, he kept saying, she ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere." And then when Karen was like, "No, yes, I am," and then she grabbed her stuff and he put his hand right here and forcefully put her back down and told her, "You ain't going nowhere." And then Aaron said, "Don't you grab her?" And that's when the fight ensued. And so I'm trying to understand. And I know some people may be like, "Allie, you can't compare the two." I am. Now the results were
And
different. Karen
is.
didn't have a bruise on her or anything like that. She didn't have a bruise or nothing. And you assume that Karen had somebody take a picture of y'all when she kissed you on the cheek. But you want to fight Aaron for trying to protect her. And you think you in the right for trying to fight your brother because you want to protect and honor Fatima. And I said Zach has such this complex about himself where he exalts himself. And the bad thing is Fatima does it as well. And I think that's why I have such an issue with her character. Because there's a character on the show, Fatima, by the name of Connie, and she treat Connie like these past two episodes. It was a little bit better, but it was almost like I'll be somewhat cool to you when I need you to do something, but when I don't, I'm gonna give you my ass to kiss. And they both kind of do that to people, and I don't like that. Zach does it on a level that is so irritating to me because for us to know where Zach came from and for him to act like you worked hard for this money to get where you are, you didn't. You got lucky. You got lucky and came up on some money. You didn't work, and even getting the money, you still don't work. Still don't work. And
Yep.
Preston, I feel bad that he's even going into business with Zach. I know they ain't signed no paperwork yet, but he done already gave that brother that check.
And
You can't even
even
get nothing
that,
signed because he's
my
gonna go to jail.
word. The plot armor around Zachary Taylor is wild work because why the hell is Preston giving Zach $3 million?
$3
Why?
million, y'all.
You want a friend that bad?
$3 million.
Danny, have you
That's
tore
what
up
it
that
feels like.
bad? And where the hell is your wife at, Preston, while you over here trying to school the neighborhood hoes? I just want to know. I'm just curious.
I like that. Why you trying to school the neighborhood hoes?
Cause he on Deja's ass about this is not you. You're better than this. Nigga.
I
You know
know
what?
this
I'm
is a
not even
front,
gonna.
Deja. I know this is a front. Boy, bye. The way you
Yes.
looking at it making me think you gonna fall subject to it.
And is, if you haven't already. Yeah, it's a little bit harder navigating Zach and Sistas, not really knowing where they are in reference to the timeline, because as it pertains to the team, I'm done with Zach. Like, if I wasn't done before, they made sure that I was done with him now, because there ain't no way. I get being pissed. I get not wanting to be lied to, but that still is no excuse for you to never operate within some scope, fashion, and or dream of your higher self. Zachary gets to be his worst version of himself, the lesser version of himself, the lowest of low versions of himself at all times, while wanting to be praised and lifted up and exalted as if he's king. That's not how any of this fucking works. It's damn sure not how black excellence works. Meanwhile, you had a woman who was operating in black excellence, black girl magic, if you will, and now she has also become basically a mirror, a shell of her former self, reiterating your same toxic ass character traits, belittling her. I'm over it. I'm quite literally over it. I don't see them actually redeeming Zach, because they are not even acting like any of this stuff that he's doing is a problem, which is the issue. The issue isn't necessarily for me that Zach broke up all of Belinda's It's that he did it, and he does certain things like that with impunity. Like, he knows that he gets to do it and he doesn't actually have any kind of consequences for it. That shit ain't real life. And whether this is a television or show or not, it is mirroring real life. Everybody else has consequences, but Zachary doesn't have any consequences. The issue isn't if he has an anger issue. The issue isn't if he doesn't know how to emotionally navigate his big ass feelings. The issue is him acting as if however he chooses to handle certain things is the right way to handle things, especially when it's the goddamn wrong way and everybody knows it. But nobody can tell him, nobody can hold him to it, nobody can press his feet to the goddamn fire, not even his quote unquote partner and or other half. Not even the shit he's living for. Either you living for her and all she is your life, but then the moment that Jeremiah does something, you living to not be a weak nigga. You living to be Dapper Dan. You living to be Nino Brown. Pick a goddamn struggle, Zach. Pick what you actually living for. And quite literally, all of it is a goddamn lie, which also speaks to the greater need for this particular character, which also, again, speaks to how what Tyler puts on the screen actually has really great bones, because there's plenty of niggas out here that's chasing a bunch of shit. Don't know where to put their focus. The shift switches like the damn wind. And you could tell that man's story, but you're not going to do it. So, like, what are we doing? Those are my Sabrina thoughts, y'all. That's the best I got.
I thought somebody need to make a song. Giving you the best that I got. That's about it for me too. That's about it for me too. I was utterly in awe, not in a great way when I watched this episode, because when I think about, and there's a group of people who feel that Belinda got what she deserved. And let me just say this: Belinda is messy as hell, y'all. We didn't even really get into how messy this girl is. She's messy as hell. However, I do not believe that she deserved for her house to get ramshacked the way that it did. Because if anything, hell, she told you what you wanted to know. She told you what you've been searching the whole Atlanta for. But
She deserved that. Like, I just showed the first when he tore down the bookshelf. She deserved that, y'all. Go ahead, Ellie.
Right. Yeah, but that's what it is. People are like, well, she shouldn't have told him that's where Jeremiah was. And I said, but the whole time y'all was telling everybody, y'all need to tell him where Jeremiah is, where his brother is, and it's Belinda that tells him. So we upset with Belinda. And hell, she don't want that crackhead in her house either. But I said the way that Zach did that girl house was wild to me. But Zach has a history of destroying stuff. He destroyed Karen house when he got mad at her. What he told her,
Mm-hmm.
I bought this damn TV. The TV that used to be hanging up on the wall. Remember when he pushed it and broke it?
Yep.
They ain't give Karen the TV for a couple months, but it was that big open space. But I'm just like, he's accustomed. He does that. You broke this TV. It's glass everywhere, and
Do
you
that,
just
Zach.
leave. So you apologizing for what you did at the restaurant? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? You didn't say, Karen, I apologize for putting my hands on you. You didn't say any of that. You just want to escape with I'm sorry. So if Jeremiah approaches you and just say, I'm sorry, will that be good enough for you, Zach? No, it won't. But you expect Karen and then gonna tell her, you could be Heckle and Hyde at the same time. I'm sorry. You tried to beat Aaron's ass and then gonna tell Fatima, I try to be a good man. I try to be a nice guy. And you literally came here on a violent trip. When were you trying to be a nice guy, Zach? Zach will forever. Zach will forever. There. Zach will forever. It will forever be F Zach on my end. Forever be F Zach. Truly. Never liked the brother, but I always gave him props when needed. But it will always be F him. The way because there's nothing you can say to me after this situation. I'm trying to figure out how Fatima gonna maneuver this.
I don't know, friend. And the crazy thing is what won me over about Zach from the very beginning is because I dated a nigga just like him. Like, when I tell you seasons 1 through 3 of Sistas,
Mm-hmm.
I gravitated to the Karen character because I lived a lot of that, like a lot of it. But at this point, Zachary has taken it too far because even my Zach knew better. Even my Zach knew better than, like, he knew how far to take it, I suppose. This is wild work. And the way that Fatima is still standing there, unwavering, unquestioning. Girl, please.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And I've even had moments of like, well, actually, I was more violent than he was. But I've had violence. So I've seen it. Tearing up stuff. I'm sorry to those past friends because we kind of did break shit in y'all's house. That was not on purpose, though. It was definitely not what the Zach was doing. On purpose, like, you're going to pay because I can't get up these steps. But the reason why he started to go on this tirade after he kicked the girl door in, did knock, kicked the girl door in, Fatima would not let him go upstairs to his crackhead ass brother. And then he starts tearing up Belinda's house as a response to that. Like, there is just something percolating up here that gives you the green light to do that just is not okay. And I get it, like, toxic relationships are toxic relationships, but Zach has taken to just a whole other level that I could just never fathom excusing. I don't give a shit what you got going on. I could never fathom just being like, oh, it's okay. And to add insult to injury, we got to watch Zach do it, not feel no remorse for the things that he's doing, and then get away with it. And then we have to watch Fatima now go and play cleanup woman and go and play Miss Apologist and go and play Little Miss Peacekeeper and clean up all the messes and douse out all the fires that Zach sets all throughout all the relationships that they have with other people. It's like a double whammy of bullshit, and I'm tired.
Yeah. So I don't want to hear nothing else about Karen, about how toxic she is or everything. I'm always bring this situation up. Them people are two things: what he did to Belinda and him showing his behind up at that restaurant, which I have a whole lot of receipts for Zachary telling, so we don't even want to have that conversation. But yeah, that was
Period.
just something. And then to think about, this is a grown man who's knocking on 40's door. You're
Mm-hmm.
pushing 40, and this is how you're acting, like a child having a temper tantrum. You were told no, and now the only thing I feel that's reasonable for me to do is to destroy things. Is to break someone's vase that their mom gave them while they're on their knees begging me not to do it. And she was begging, like, Zach, don't do this. Zach, you don't have to do this. Begging you. Oh, yeah, this is nice, right? This is nice. and broke it anyway. So as you stated, he was very aware. I could see if someone said, "Yeah, man, I blacked out, and I don't know what I did." Zach was very aware and very intentional about what he did in Belinda's house. Got it. So this is who you are. This is just your nature. I don't want to hear you talk about therapy anymore because you like Danny. Use it because I guess it sounds good. All of that stuff, he love to bring that up. It's not doing anything for you to respond in this way. And like I said, I'm not saying that he doesn't have a right to be mad or angry because he does. But this, no,
You needed to go to jail
no,
behind this shit. If I'm
yes,
Belinda, I'm pressing charges. And pressed immediately.
yeah,
I don't give a shit what y'all talking about. Immediately. And
yeah,
honestly, Allie, I'm going to take us back to episodes 1 and 2. I can't remember which ones, but this is the same guy that y'all also want me to believe Fatima sitting up in that goofy ass bed talking about, oh, well, it was her loss. While he's woe is me again about, oh yeah, why do women do that? Why you listen to your homegirls, my Karen's homegirls used to talk so much shit about me, and she would listen. Because the shit was true. They saw it in you too. Look at you. You are a mess and a menace. Her homegirls love her. Men, please. Do not be sitting up complaining about a woman complaining about you when you give them reasons to complain about your ass. He be talking as if the shit that the women be saying about him is lies. Whole time it's the goddamn truth with some shit redacted. Zachary, don't piss me off. Do not piss me off. Because all of 5 episodes ago, you was sitting up in that goofy ass bed talking about some, yeah, y'all just gotta give niggas a chance, and the girls be talking about me. And then now you back breaking into her ex-friend's house, busting up all her shit. Now she don't get to say that. She don't get to say, Zach broke in my house and bust up all my shit. Because that's just down in the black man. That's just talking shit that don't need to be said. Well, you also didn't need to put your goddamn hands on her stuff.
I'm so glad you brought it because I honestly forgot about it. Y'all, Fatima had all the audacity. Before we get to that, they laying up in the bed, like Erica said, they laying up in that goofy ass bed. And I remember back in the day when I was with Karen, and I ain't comparing y'all because I'm saying y'all different, but yeah, when I ain't had the money to really do nothing, I'm saying, she used to make me feel really bad. She used to really make me feel bad. And then her friends, they would talk about me, and she would listen like I ain't had the money to do the things I wanted to do. But then Fatima, well, her loss is my gain. I said, excuse me. I bet she would have wait. I bet she wish she would have waited. Hell no. You can keep that bastard. You can keep that bastard. I said, babe, I'm first gonna need for Karen's name to stay out y'all mouth.
Y'all can't
Both
get a
of y'all
season
mouth.
without
And
it.
my thing is, you can't go a season without. And if you're so in love with Fatima, I'm sorry, baby. You're not gonna be telling me and talking to me about your ex every 3
Constantly.
episodes. What is the issue? What is this thing you can't break? This bond you can't break? Because the fact that you bring this woman up to me so consistently is an issue. And this ain't something that just started happening. This has been happening since the beginning of their situationship before they even became the teamer. You constantly talk about this ex. What's going on there? Mm-mm. I'm sorry, but yeah, her loss is my gain. I said, but see, I feel so sorry for you in a sense where I don't feel sorry for you, but I feel sorry for you because you look a damn nut, straight up nut. Her loss is my gain.
You gave another child, honey, to the one in your house that we never see no more. The 2 in Karen's goddamn belly, the 1 in yours, and then the 1 in your damn bed. Congratulations, you are a mother of 5. Oh.
Okay.
Tragic.
It is. It is.
Like, Fatima, this is what she should have waited for. She already had it. See, you just lucked up and he ain't at your damn condo because you got rid of it like he asked. But had you not moved in, maybe this would have happened at your condo. He would have tore up all your shit. Karen's already been here, done that, bought the t-shirt and passed it on to you. Glad you're loving wearing it.
But Karen, you'll find out soon enough.
And everybody said she was a hater for it. Everybody said she was a hater for it. Time reveals all, sweets. Zach is trifling. And it don't look like he's getting untrifling anytime soon. So he can take his ass back to the trash. If y'all want to sound off, let me open up the Discord real quick so we can let y'all share y'all's thoughts. And if you are watching, Fatima and you want to share a thought, then feel free to share that. Or if we missed anything talking about Sistas, let us know before we get ready to get up out of here. Anything else, Ellie, that we missed? I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like I'm really sniffing in y'all's ear, and it probably sounds horrible. This really just hit me out of nowhere.
It don't sound. No, you good.
Okay.
You good. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else I want to say with the team or Sistas? I think with Sistas, not much happened. That they spent a lot of time with the ladies tonight, so it really wasn't much that happened. And with Fatima, with that.
Mel Cunningham said Fatima acts as if Zachary Taylor is the prize. I'm glad Karen is done with that. Fatima bragging about Karen, what's left. Child, please. Exactly. You got it, honey. I hope you enjoy it since you think you are enjoying it. TP says as soon as he started breaking up stuff, call 911. Period.
Immediately. And then because Belinda did say, "No, I'm about to call the police," and Fatima was like, "Oh, now this beef want to call the police." Yeah.
Yes. There's a madman in my house. Immediately, yes. The crackhead ain't even busting up all my shit. Hell, I would have much rather Jeremiah stole my shit than Zach coming in here kicking my goddamn door in. I just put Jeremiah and Nathan out 2 blocks away because I don't want my damn landlord to see this foolishness happening at my damn house. Then I got a black man storming up the goddamn steps, kicking my door in.
And then I think I'm not gonna lie, last season, my favorite character in Fatima was Jeremiah. And I love the moment that him and Fatima had. And even the moment they shared in episode 8 where we know he got himself. And he is outside his mind. And then when he apologized to her, I know he was high, but I believe that Jeremiah was sincere. I don't think if he was in his right mind, he would ever do anything to intentionally hurt Fatima. And I remember last season when he asked her for a hug, a lot of people thought that he was going to try to, touch her inappropriately or do something or say something, and he did not. He didn't. It was like, he don't have a relationship with his brother. His mom was his best friend, and now she's gone, and he feels like he has nobody. And I'm not justifying his behavior. He's a addict. Like he literally has a sickness. Now it's not to excuse him going around trying to rob people. But it's like at the end of the day, Zach, your brother does have a problem. He does have a sickness, and I found it so interesting that Zach was like, "Well, people can't just keep using that. He still got to be held accountable." I said, "I know you're not.
No.
I know you're not even uttering those words because you're never held accountable for anything. And when people do, the fans or people who do commentary on it, we get bashed because somebody wants to hold the character of Zach accountable as if he can just go out here and run amok and do whatever he wants. the amount of people I saw defending Zach was, I mean, it wasn't mind blowing because I'm used to it, but their justifications, they went to a whole nother level of low.
Yeah.
Truly.
That's real. I haven't been on social, so I haven't seen it, but I could only imagine. And what's interesting is like how Jeremiah needs to be held accountable, which he can be as an addict, because yes, that is true. But he has a chemical disturbance in his brain caused by the drugs that he consumes. What the hell is your excuse, Zachary Taylor? Right. You supposed to be a normal, sober, functioning, sensible ass adult. This man's brain chemistry has been altered by a goddamn substance that is designed to hook you and to never let your ass go. What the hell is your excuse, Zachary Taylor? Oh, okay.
Facts. Yeah. None.
The Zach fans can't tell me shit. Y'all can quite literally not tell me. Y'all's leader messed up. Gave me all the ammo I need from here until eternity. Okay? Eternity. Jamara, you can join if you want to. Huh? You could just sound. You don't have to come on screen. You could just use your audio. People calling all the time. And if you're gonna do so, honey, do so quick, cause your girl about to go make some tea and curl up on the air mattress. Cause I'm in Baltimore trying to get my life together. Shout out to you, Allie, because this just made this way more enjoyable yet again. I was very, very fearful.
I was gonna make sure, because I said I was gonna make sure, because I had some people who messaged me on Instagram, and there are some people who really want me to review Fatima, and I told them this, I can't do it, because I'm really gonna sound like I'm bashing, because I'm gonna be very honest with y'all, as we peoples. I do not like the show. I do not like Fatima as a collective for several reasons. And the only reason that I watch it is so that I can make sure I'm in the know about what's happening on that show, because it's connected to Sistas and the whole Karen. And that's the only reason why. I do not like this show at all. I really don't. And the crazy part is, as weird as it is, my favorite character on the show is Deja.
Mm-hmm.
She is my favorite character on the show, and that says a lot.
Connie warming up to me. I kind of want Connie to push back.
I forgot about Connie.
I want Connie to push back to Fatima, but if she does that, she'll be the front runner for me then.
Yeah, it's definitely those two. I definitely love Connie's presence on the show. I don't like the fact of how they got Preston over there being Uncle Save-A-Hole for Zach, giving that man $3 million and sitting outside his house waiting for him for an hour. It's like, dude, you ain't got nothing to do. You just waiting for Zach to show up. What the hell is this? Like, no, and I
bullshit.
It's bull, and I don't care what show it is. I can't stand when you got people constantly kissing the main cast behind. It just doesn't work that way. And no other show that I've watched have I seen that. In the lack of consequence. I think about Girlfriends, when Maya was going through that stuff with Stan, and Maya was cheating on her husband. When Darnell found out what happened, we over. You had that man in my house eating my food, playing with my son. We in here playing video games. The disrespect, Maya, we done. There was a consequence for that. So much,
and she almost lost her friendship. Like, she got a problem with Joan holding her ass accountable. Like, girl, you in tricky territory. So much so that she had to lean into her lies, her little white lies around that with her damn friends.
Yeah, it was horrible because they didn't know what to do. Had Darnell go off on Joan for buying Maya that watch when it was really Stan who bought the watch. Like, you had your friends going through hell to keep up with your deceit. And there was consequences for that. She didn't get that Christmas bonus because she lied, and Joan went out and bought him that laptop and all these other gifts. Like, when you are deceitful, other people may have to suffer from that. And I think Girlfriends did a great job of displaying that when you're being dishonest and you're not being loyal. Even the whole thing with Tony and Joan. Joan said something,
Child,
was supposed to
Joan's
say
arc when
nothing.
she became an
Oh,
it girl was such a beautiful
baby,
full circle of
it
like,
was
well, Joan,
yeah, yes.
babes, you tripping.
Baby, that it girl era, and that's the best way to say it. That it girl era for Joan, baby.
Consequences all throughout that hoe. Lasting ones
Consequences,
at
and there's
that.
some things in like lasting, and that's what I want. And even for sisters, even with the women, Tony and Joan, they never were able to rectify that situation. There was no reconciliation with that. It just was what it was. Sometimes there's so much damage that has been done. Certain things people can't come back from, and the best thing for them to do is to not have you in my life. Tony had, even though we didn't see it on camera, Tony had a whole going away party. Joan was not invited. We're done. Our friendship is over. Consequences. Everybody had consequences
But
for
we
their
still
actions.
got to see her
Everybody did.
response to it when she finds out about it. She's trying to hide her feelings. She got the dress under the sweats. Just chef's
Yes.
freaking kiss. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, we know the sisters isn't girlfriends.
We know it ain't.
But it
It
could
never will
be.
be.
It could be. The sad part about it is like with Tyler having the infrastructure that he has to greenlight his own stuff, if just a little bit more effort was placed into the writing, it could truly transform into something really iconic. But alas.
It could have, and I'm gonna say this, yeah, and I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound messy. But I was talking to my mom because someone and the only reason I'm saying is because someone messaged me on Instagram and it was pertaining to Tyler Perry and sisters and everything like that. And she asked me, how would you classify the type of work that Tyler Perry does? And I was like, so I had to think about that for a minute. And she said, "What again? What would you classify the type of work that Tyler Perry does?" And I told my mom this earlier, and I said, "It's one word." And so the young lady was like, "Okay, what is it?" I said, "Forgettable." It's forgettable, and I don't mean that to be shady or rude, but when I think about how we can sit here, girlfriends have been off the air how long? And we
Over
can go back because I
20
know we rewatch
years.
these different shows. Okay, have been on for 20, we can go back and we can watch the shows and it's so close in our memory that we can
So
talk
close.
about it.
I'm
When
happy
we
for
should
my friend.
so close.
I'm happy for my
I'm happy
like
for my friend.
what lives
I'm
rent
happy for her.
free. Rent free,
What
bro.
lives rent free?
Allie, you
Moesha been
touching
off
on
for
something.
probably Moesha been off for so long, and I can vividly remember episodes word for word. That's how engraved it is in me. The game been off for so long, but I can remember going back and how I felt in those moments. And when I think about show, and it's sad because I love each and every one of the actors, the
Mm.
talent on this show, and I support them in everything that they do. I can't wait to see the Vows movie with Christina Milian and Kofi that comes out on the November 6th. Like I celebrate them, and it hurts me, like honestly, that this is a show that whenever it goes off, these conversations from people 10 years after the show is out, ain't nobody gonna be talking about sisters.
Mm-mm.
It's gonna be like, oh, you know that show Tyler Perry had about the women. Like it's gonna be like that. It's never, even though they have surpassed episodes of Girlfriends, the number of episodes, the way that it affected the culture, the way that it shifted, it's not going to be that. And as you said, the sad part is it could have been. And the
Mm-hmm.
sad part is it should be. And it's not. But that's how I feel. And I can go back and rewatch Tyler Perry's films. But anything
Mm-hmm.
when it's his TV shows and sisters, I the original House of Pain, because he didn't write it, he only directed and produced, is the only TV show that I can go back and rewatch, which is my favorite show in the Tyler Perry universe. But Sisters and everything else that's out and all of that, it's forgettable. It's forgettable work for me. That's how I feel. It's forgettable, and it's sad that that is that.
I fear I can't even disagree. I think the
MJ
only
three
like
zero zero
Aster.
nine says, "Oh, I would have said 309 says I don't agree with that, but I understand it." If you can elaborate a little bit more for me, I would appreciate it. But what you were saying, Erica?
I think the only asterisk I could probably give is like the things that I'm going to remember from Sistas all tied to specific actors' work. Like I'm going to remember what Ebony
Mm,
did with the Karen character,
yes,
but
yes.
it won't be tied to specific storylines and what was supposed to be communicated. Like going back to what I just said about like I'm happy for my friend. That was the arc of like jealousy within friendships and you trying to process where you fit in your friend getting the thing that you always wanted and you feeling like you had it, but once she starts to get a little bit closer, what does that do to you? And you know, and her having the real thing, you not necessarily feel like you have the real thing. I know all of what the ins and outs of that particular scene is, so it's more than just Tracy Ellis Ross delivering beautiful dialogue laced in, you know, dope nuance for this particular story, but I know the entire arc of what that was specifically pointing to when it comes to like Ebony with Karen. I'm not necessarily going to remember what the storylines were. I'm going to remember what she said and how she said it that meant something. And it's almost going to be in spite of what she was given, because I feel like Ebony, I think all of them are very talented, but I think that Ebony has really done a ton of masterful work giving very little and making so much of it with the show.
That's the word. I agree. I agree, and I encourage everybody because I do get a lot of messages with people and their, in their opinions about sisters and the acting and stuff like that. And I always try to redirect them to go and look up the work that these people have done, and you can make the assessments for yourselves. And I think about someone like Ebony, and I'll just use her because to me she's the most decorated actress on the show. Like if you go and pull up her credits, she's been in so much. And even if you go back and look at her first series, it was called Tough Love. I think she was in the seasons 1 through 3 or something like that. She played the character Alicia, and you really get to see Ebony without her accent. Just being
Mm-hmm.
her, in her normal tone. And I encourage everybody, if you can find the series, to go and watch it or look up. She played this in this movie. I believe it was a short film called Pumpkin. Erica, I don't know if you saw that.
I haven't seen
But
it.
that movie there, my level of respect for Ebony as a performer went through the roof. So I just
Pumpkin.
encourage everybody, like, if you can find, yes, my pumpkin, if you can find the work that they've done, go back. Even with KJ, KJ has done some impeccable work. I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe Mignon and Novi, they don't have as many credits as the other two, but just go and look at their stuff and just see how amazing they are. Even with Mignon, she did a lot of work. She does a lot of work in the scenes. She wrote a short film. I think it's like 8 minutes long, and it's so moving. It's so moving. It's so good. And I think it was before she got the role of Danny, but
Danny.
just go support them and see what they've done because they're amazing at what they do.
And with that said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for joining us on
Yes,
another
thank
episode of
y'all.
Our Sisters Keeper. We appreciate y'all so very much for tuning in every single week, regardless of what the episode gives. Y'all be riding right along with us, and we appreciate you. Ellie, anything that you want to spotlight or shout out before we get ready to get out of here?
I just want to say thank you guys for supporting us collectively and separately. And tomorrow I did my overall thoughts on the Braxton's new reality show. I think I shared it with Erica a little bit. It took me a long time to even do it because I don't like talking about reality stuff and the lives of real people. It's not messy. I took it from a perspective of I did not realize how Tracy's presence or lack thereof would affect me in such an emotional way. And I felt like the Braxtons feel like my big cousins, and one of them is gone. And I didn't realize until I was watching the show and not seeing her how it affected me, how it had me assess my relationship with my siblings and things, how I connected to all of them. And so, but I'm gonna release it tomorrow, and so y'all be on the lookout for that and all the sister stuff. And I'm starting. Somebody sent me a message on Instagram and was asking me a lot of Tyler Perry questions. My favorite characters, my favorite couples. So I'm gonna talk about that. All it's gonna come from House of Fame, the original. So y'all look out for that, and yeah, y'all look out for that. So that's the upcoming
Alrighty.
stuff I have for.
Yes, and subscribe to Allie Nick's channel if you haven't already at Allie Nick Official. Y'all, my breakdowns are coming. I did record a breakdown, so y'all will get that in preview and synopsis breakdowns, all of that. I'm gonna get it to you when I can get it to you. Hopefully very, very soon. I am taking care of family business and helping my mom move here in Baltimore, so that is taking a lot out of me right now. But I got y'all. Be on the lookout. Turn on your bell notifications. And I'm going to see you next week.
Good night, y'all.